For our task 3, we are required to demonstrate the relay logic displaying AND or AND NOT operation. So for this task, first we will be doing the AND relay circuit. In order to demonstrate or to do an AND relay circuit, we will be preparing components. So we'll be preparing these components such as mix switch ladder, two mix switch ladders, and then two switches, and an electrical connection 24 volts, an electrical connection which is set to 0 volts, a relay ladder, R1 and R2, and a indicator light. So the end logic table indicates that if X and Y, or switch 1 or switch 2, will be having both 0 input, the result will be 0. And if X is 0 and 1 is 0, the answer or the output will be 0. If the X is 1 and Y is 0, the output will be 0. And lastly, if both of the switches or both X and Y have a value of 1, then our output will be 1. So, moving on to our experiment, we will be proving what I said a while ago by connecting all the components which will result into this format, and then after running the program we will be doing what I said before. So we have a 0 output for both X and Y, which is switches 1 and 2. Therefore our output should be 0. And then if we uh, use either this one or this one, our output will be 0. The indicator light will light up if and only if we do this. If we both press both of the switches at the same time, we will be having an output of 1, which means our indicator bulb will light up. And with that, our indicated or the light bulb here functions due to the fact that we pressed both of the switches, which resulted into a value of 1, which means the bulb should illuminate. And then after that, we will be moving to our next relay circuit, which is the OR relay circuit. So for the OR, the truth table goes like this. If X is 0 and Y is 0, which means our switches isn't pushed yet, which means again, it doesn't have any value or any input, the result will be 0. And then if one of our switches as an input, our output will have an input of 1. But if we both put an input in both of our switches, our output will have also have an output of 1, or rather the light bulb or in the indicator light will light up. And in order to prove what I said, we will be running our relay circuit. So for our first task, or for the first part, X and Y is 0, therefore our output is 0. And then if we push any, which means It is similar to what I said before, since if we push any of the switches, it will be producing an output of 1, which means that the indicator light will light up or illuminate. And then if we both uh, push the switches, it will have an input of 1, hence the OR logic table or the OR relay circuit. And since we are on the OR relay circuit, the OR indicates that if we both, or rather, the value or the output will have an output of 1 if and only if there is an input in any switches. For the AND relay circuit, uh, the output will have an in or the output will have an output of 1 if and only if we have both our switches have a input of 1. That is why we press both the switches, which results to our indicator light illuminating. And for our uh, last part of the task tree, we will be focusing on our NOT relay circuit. So for the NOT relay circuit, it negates what input you have putted in our switches. For example, if you put 0 in the switch, therefore the output will be the opposite. If you don't uh, put a input here, which is like that, I haven't pushed it yet, the output will be 1, which means the light will be, uh, which means the indicator light will illuminate. But if we push the switch, it isn't supposed to light up. So here, if we push the uh, our switch here, the light bulb will not illuminate because we are negating the input of our switch in our resistor, which means the light bulb will produce an output opposite to our input. And that will be all for our demo, for our module exam. Thank you for listening.